you're enjoying this Make the Most post from my home. My name's Kyle, and we are going to make some music today with some things that you can find at home. But I want to tell you something first. This is kind of a safety thing. We are going to use glasses from your house. So you need to ask your parents, and I would recommend that your parents actually help you with this project. It's a lot of fun, but it is kind of hard to get just right, and it takes a little bit of time and some patience. So you're going to need some glasses from your cabinet, some water, and then some plastic utensils or some wooden skewers. I'll explain that in just a little bit. First, I want to talk about something called frequency. So everything in the world vibrates at a certain frequency. You vibrate, I vibrate, this guitar vibrates right over here. Everything vibrates. You can't always see it, but everything has what's called a resonant frequency, and it vibrates at that frequency. A graph like this down here shows us the frequencies that this iPad is picking up. So when I come over here and I play this note on the guitar, you can see, well, I can't really talk while I do it, but you'll see that the resonant frequency is a D. It's the highest one right here, and we can actually go and find out that that's 154 hertz, just about 154 hertz. So what happens when I take my finger and I shorten this string? I'm going to put my finger here. I just plucked it open. If I shorten it, our resonant frequency jumps to 117 hertz. So as I shorten that string, as the string gets shorter, it vibrates faster, and that creates a higher pitch and a higher frequency. So we can use that same science to make music with water and glasses. So come over here, let me show you. Each, like I told you, everything has a resonant frequency. So even this glass with nothing in it, if I tap on it, now this is the key, I'm not using metal. We never want to tap like a metal fork or a metal knife on a glass. So I'm using these skewers that I found here at home. You can also use plastic cutlery, it won't hurt your glasses. But if I tap this glass, you can hear that pitch. That is that glass's resonant frequency. So if we come over here, it's harder to see on the actual graph with the glass than the guitar because the note is so short. But if I keep hitting it, so our resonant frequency is about right here. So it's 1,340 hertz. So if I fill this glass with water, do you think it's going to go up, the pitch and the frequency? Do you think it'll go up or do you think it'll go down? Think about it for a second. I'm going to fill it with water. Think about it. And we'll test our experiment. So I'm just putting normal water, nothing fancy, normal room temperature water. Now, if I tap this now, that went much lower. It was significant, right? Very, very lower. So the more water you put in the glass, the lower the frequency gets. So what's happening is, the more water you put in and I tap this, those waves, the sine waves that are forming are actually, they're having to pass through all of that water, and it's having to go much more slowly. When I pour the water out of the glass, like this, it's half full now, there's less material in the glass to vibrate, so it vibrates at a higher pitch or a higher frequency. Now, we can use that science to pitch out a scale. Now, I'm crazy and I have way too much time on my hands. And so I spent a few hours yesterday and I pulled every glass that we had out of our cabinets. And I was sitting there tapping on glasses and trying to get the right pitch. No one was home. I didn't disturb anyone. No one was harmed. It's all okay. But you can start with scales. You basically have 8 notes in a scale. And the important thing about a scale is the frequency distance between each note. Now, I don't want to get too complicated because it gets really music theory, and that's not too much what we're about. But I'm going to post some links to some stuff if you really want to get into how the scale in music theory works. I did this by ear. I think you can do this by ear, and I want to show you how. So if we start with our glass, and I found what I do, the process I used, I took a glass out of all the glasses in our cabinet. I found the one that had the lowest resonant frequency with no water in it. The lowest resonant frequency, and that was this glass right here. I tapped it at the lowest, and then I filled it with water, and that made it as low as it could possibly go. That was my starting note. And you got this right here. Okay, so we have our starting note. Now, if I want to base my scale moving forward, I can use, what I did is I used songs. So the next song that I thought of was Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I took 2 more glasses, and I started to work the notes for Mary Had a Little Lamb. So if you listen. So that's just 3 notes in a scale, right? But I basically, based on the first pitch, I was able to then, with that same process with the rest of the glasses, I was able to create the other pitches. And then I worked my way up. So let's say you want to get a little bit more complicated and you want to play something like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? So we pick one more glass and we go, oh, we need more than one glass, sorry. Sorry. Okay, so we're getting pretty close. We almost have our full scale. That's going to take you a while to get to that point. And if you really add in, this is the entire from 1 to 8. So 1 and 8 are the same note, just an octave higher. So if I go up the scale, and then I added some down here. So the 5 down here is the same as the 5 up here. And the 6, just octaves. So now you can really have some fun. If we take all of our glasses, and you can get more complicated than this. If you have, I don't know who would have more glasses than this in their house, but if you had more glasses, you could do this indefinitely. This is, if you think about a piano, from 1 to 8 is 8 keys on a piano. It's much shorter. And that process repeats the whole way down the piano. So you can play songs, and I've been practicing. I don't know how this is going to go. But you can do songs like, so you can really have fun, and you can make whatever you want music-wise. What's fun about this is I can spend all day coming up with these pitches and write music and songs, and then I can just start experimenting. I can pour some water into a glass and see what it sounds like. I can add some glasses. You don't have to, you just use glasses. You could use ceramic bowls. You could use anything that has a resonant frequency that you can fill water in. I'm just thinking, I think even this big jug over here probably has a resonant frequency that it doesn't, it's plastic. But so you want something that naturally vibrates and has a sound to it that you can fill with water. We would love to hear, if you end up making some songs with some glasses, I would love to hear them. I'm a music guy at heart, and we would love to post them and share them with our community and with other makers who are making things. If you end up sending your videos to us, please send them to the Making Foundation on Facebook or Instagram at Making Foundation. You can email them to us, info@makingfoundation.org. Or if you just end up posting them online, you're gonna, if you do this and you don't go viral and you don't become super famous, something's wrong. So if you go viral, tag us, #MakeTheMost, and we would just love to see it. Again, my name is Kyle. This has been your Make the Most for Wednesday. So I'm gonna play a little bit more. On the YouTube version of this, I'm actually going to write a song with these and my guitar and record it, and you'll be able to hear that hopefully a little bit later today when I upload that. So we'll leave you with one final song.